Okay, is this live? Okay, is this live? There we go. Okay, I need to go back to the other one. Boink. I need to do this. Okay, you found it. Okay, so how is the audio for everybody? I don't know what in the world that was about, man. I was doing the normal, click this, click that, and then I do manage the broadcast and the YouTube thing. They talk to each other and then it goes, but they both said, hey, that was a failure, please try again. And it's like, but nothing would try again. Anyway, enough complaining about that nonsense. It's going now. Okay, good. Oh, man, yikes. It's one of those days. Okay. Wow, I wonder what that is about, Tim, because I haven't changed anything since the last time. I mean, as far as the live stream settings. And did I move any of the preamp stuff over there? I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Well, if it's better, it's better. Let's just take the win, right? So how's everybody's past couple of weeks been? Yeah, you're right. The wizard, that's absolutely right. Oh, have I shown you guys this shirt before? My niece gave it to me. Hitting them books. Gotta get the knowledge, man. Get the knowledge. Thanks, Tim. Man, I hope everybody can find this because, since the first stream failed, well, I guess we'll do what we can do. And it's 15 of us now. I'll give it some time as usual before I click off the timer. TBM Avenger. I'm not recognizing what that is, but was this an air show like where they do like planes to people to look at, and where they do the trick flying and all that kind of thing? New guitar? What kind of guitar, Ben? Seattle. All right, Tim. Cool. Agrippa. All right. I have like 3 different conversations going. This is crazy. I don't know. See, Heath, I like those types of games. You know what I mean? Where I don't know. I just do. Wow. Navy torpedo bomber. Right on. Oh, right on. Ben, yeah, I've seen that. I tend to like to go to Sweetwater, even when I can't afford to buy anything, just to fetish guitars, just to go look at them and go, ooh, wouldn't that be great? Would I recommend Enigma? Yeah, I would. I mean, well, here's the thing. It has everything to do with how you use your pointing device. I use a trackball, and I think that gives me an advantage because the way you move your pointing device is how you roll the ball. So I don't know. It may be super challenging if you're using a mouse, but for a trackball, it's actually pretty okay. Have you ever tried playing chess? Yeah, I'm not very good at chess. I like logic games, and like I played Othello and Go and those types of games, but I don't know, chess just never grabbed my imagination. I mean, I know how the pieces move and stuff, and I can half-assedly flail around. I mean, I don't know any real strategies. Yikes, Heath, thank you. That's fantastic. 3 cheers for Heath. Man, I really do appreciate the generosity. That's fantastic. Yikes. Anyway, thanks a lot, Heath. That's great. I mean, I don't know. I always feel, inadequate when I'm saying thank you to you guys. But anyway, thank you. I really, really, really do appreciate it. Okay, what's... Beach vampires, right on. So you're gonna do any sort of like riffs, like along the lines of the Ventures or something like that, like goth Ventures? Is that? I mean, that's what comes to my mind when you say beach vampires. I think goth Ventures. Do I like Monopoly? Not really. I played it, a few times with my family, when I was younger. Like it's one of the things you do at family gatherings, right? And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I had fun playing it, but it was because I was playing it with family and just kind of, and I never really took it all that seriously. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's another one of those games that, a popular board game that I do like to play every once in a while is Clue, or if you're in like the UK, Cluedo. Um, and there's other weird games that are just, where you do dice going around, or some kind of variation of along, like something like Parcheesi, you know what I mean? Um, those are always kind of fun, but those are just dice games. And again, it's more about having a silly thing to do while you're hanging around with people and talking and kind of goofing off. Okay, so you're getting a new one. I mean, as far as the audio interface. Cool. Wow. Did I play on that? Wait a minute, let me see. I think I'm missing comments here. Let me back up. What's going on here? All right, here we go. I've got that. I've seen that. I've seen that. Would I recommend Enigma? Yeah, okay, yeah, I already talked about that, right? Because it's just chess, right? Okay, you're getting a new audio interface. Okay. It's orange outside. Yikes. Do I play Atari? Um, you know, I did occasionally, just because I knew a couple of people that had it, but I never owned one. My parents never got us one, but I had a couple of friends that had it, and once in a while we'd go inside and play. Um, I remember. I'm pretty sure it was Atari that. I don't know. Maybe it was a different game. I'm pretty sure it was Atari that my friend John had. Yeah. I don't know. Mostly it was like those paddle type games, that kind of thing. Um, Fires are crazy, man. Frightening. I mean, I guess there's that. There's a whole collection of like pine trees that the fire actually kind of causes their cones to open up so they can reseed or whatever. So it's kind of a whole weird life cyclical kind of thing. Um, yeah, but I don't know. I would hate to be burned up. How was the Bay Area in the 90s? I don't know in what way. It was, I don't know, it was similar to as it is now. I mean, temperature-wise, I think it's warmer. Population-wise, it's more people. Pollution, it seems like it's about the same, frankly. But we have a lot of wind, that comes in through the mouth of the Golden Gate. So we tend to stay reasonably clear skied. I mean, when it comes to smog and stuff, like compared to Southern California anyway. Especially LA. LA Basin is just horrible for that stuff. I mean, there's times when, it was way worse back in the day, but when you'd come over the Grapevine at the north end, right, by, was it Valencia or whatever up there, and you start coming down from being there, like where Six Flags Magic Mountain used to be. I don't know if it still is, but, and you could just see the inversion layer, where it's like, oh, here's sky and stuff, and then you see, and it'd be like, it's like, oh my God, I have to descend into that and breathe that horrible stuff. Yikes. Do I still make it to San Francisco? Not very often. Usually it's like when I have the time, I don't have the money, and when I have the money, I don't have the time. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Well, actually, Punkanova, I am happy to oblige in any way, I guess, in this particular instance, anyway. Squeaky noises and people talking upstairs. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and start doing some of the stuff. Oh wait, let's see. Yeah, one or the other. I don't know whether anybody will remember, but way back in the day, on Saturday Night Live, Gilda Radner did this character that was, I think it was Rosanna Dana. If it's not one thing, it's another. Oh man. I don't know how bad that is for you guys. Usually that stuff comes through on the mics pretty loudly. I apologize for if it kind of ruined anybody's sort of cool, chill scene. Oh, you know, I'll ask you guys, because I was kind of just going to blow it off, but I keep getting these emails from YouTube because they have this whole thing about membership and they're really pushing on it. I don't think it interests me so much, really, because I mean, I'll figure out some way of, like doing a Patreon or something like that. I mean, as you guys have probably figured out that, I'm not, well, whatever. I'm silly when it comes to money, I guess. Slow down, Bill. But I guess the membership thing gives, like, you guys can have weird custom emojis and stuff like that, or something like that for like the live streams and all that. And I don't know if anybody's really interested in any of that, or they feel like they're missing out because I don't do that. I'm kind of inclined just to tell YouTube that, because the truth is that, well, I mean, whatever, it's their platform. They can do whatever they want to do to make money, but it kind of feels like that's what it's about. You know what I mean? That they want their cut, more or less. And maybe I'm just being jaded, but anyway, it's something I've been thinking around, I guess. I don't know. Slow down, Bill. Don't get so amped up. Okay, let me catch up with some comments. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Bob Lou. I guess, because I actually have registered at Patreon. I just haven't set it up, you know what I mean? I'm thinking I will, and I'm thinking I'm just going to make there be one tier, and it'll be just like $1 a month or something like that. Because, I mean, I don't like the idea of keeping things behind a paywall. So what it's going to be is if you just want to give me like a consistent once a month tip, you know what I mean? And that's basically it. And if you don't, then that's cool. I can be fine with that. I think I've told you guys my ultimate fantasy, right? Which is to end up with like 1 million fans, and then 10% of them give me $1 a year. That's like $100,000 a year. Okay, where am I at? Oh, hey, Rita. Well, welcome back. And I've been okay. More or less. I mean, I'm here, right? So yeah, I'm okay. I hope you've been well as too. I hope you have been well as well. How's that? Yeah, there's going to be a CD one. I haven't decided, but it might be tomorrow. Either tomorrow or Wednesday, because I've got some things that I've been recording and they need editing and that kind of thing. And the CD one hasn't actually been recorded yet, but I was thinking of just recording it and publishing it all in the same day rather than, because it tends to be a pretty easy thing to do. You know what I mean? It doesn't really require much technical editing usually. And I usually don't have to do too many takes with those, you know what I mean? I just kind of do it and it goes. I don't know. Okay, I think maybe I'll switch over to one or the other sound things. Oh, now that I've got that green screen thing, I've been like trying to think of unusual things to put in the background, you know what I mean? So if you guys have any suggestions of things for me to go try to find, or, I mean, it has to be either be, public domain or something that I could easily go film or take a picture of, but okay, anyway, let me see where we're at with. Well, thanks for that blacklit star. Blacklit star? That's strange. Blacklit star. I don't know why it feels like a tongue twister to me. Anyway, thanks for that sentiment. Hey, Jordan, how's it going? Wrong way scout. Command, wrong way, I kind of like both. It depends on where my head's at and what I'm doing. For example, one thing I used to like to do when I had time off in San Francisco, I mean, I lived in a really cool city, so it's nice to spend time there. I liked being slow, go down to the Fisherman's Wharf, or, like where the Ghirardelli Square is, or, Pier 39 and all that stuff. Like do a little bit of people watching and that kind of thing. But sometimes I like a good, I don't know, things being busy and hectic. It can be kind of fun. Do I actually play CDs? I don't play CDs anymore because I don't have an optical drive. Yikes, my goodness. Wow, so you've done the graduation thing, Rita. Fantastic. Remind me, what's your discipline? And you're doing the masters. Fantastic. Yeah, I went to DC, but I was in, Tim, when you mentioned that, it's like, I was like 8th grade or something, it was that school trip thing, that a lot of people do. Okay, which one? I'm going to do the jar. I always wish I could come up with something clever to, whisper or something, when do the jar over there, whisper over here kind of thing, this sound. Okay. I'll do some bubble wrap crinkling. Oh, hang on. Oh, cool. So, Rita, is it more like behavioral biology stuff? Or is it like, genetics or? Oh, thanks, Magneto. I like the compliment. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, well, I was a reasonably early adopter of CDs back in the 80s. I had just a basic little Sony CD player. But I was kind of into hi-fi back then. I mean, I didn't have a super amazing system, but I had a pretty respectable system. I had a NAD. It was oh crap. I think it was the 31 something. It was based on the 3020, which was a little 20 watt amp by NAD. That was fantastic. But I got the one that was the model after that was a receiver that actually had a digital tuner in it. And then I had a Techniques turntable with some Boston acoustic speakers and a BIC tape deck. And then I bought the Sony CD player. Wow, being an RN, that's a totally honorable, noble thing, Tim. Cheers for Tim, man. Fantastic. Oh, thanks for the compliment. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name with it looks, I'm going to say, vaguely East Asian symbols. I'm not sure how I should address you. But I'm bad with names and stuff like that. Fantastic. Oh, you know what? It's been a while, and there's plenty of us here. I'm going to go start off the timer. Doink. There we go. All right. So the timer has officially started. Having said that now, let me start setting up better posture and hey, Super Pig. Oh man, the wizard, thank you. I appreciate that, I do. You know, I suspect that will go towards a joint. I hope that doesn't bother you, but there's a good chance that it will. That's the thing, I get paid, I get the YouTube money on once a month, right? And I usually let myself go down to a dispensary that's walking distance from me, and I'll buy a couple of pre-rolls, and that's my weed for the month. Oh, thanks, Bob Lou. That's fantastic. A weed warlock, right on. How much is a joint? It depends. Let's see, I bought a couple, what were they? They were like on a deal, so I got two for like out the door with tax, like just under $9. So I guess, you know, $4.50 a joint roughly. And that's for a gram joint of, you know, decent stuff. I mean, I wouldn't say it's amazing, but, you know, I'm not a connoisseur either. I just, you know, I like to, you know, partake once in a while, yeah. What is my opinion on edibles? I'm fine with edibles except for one thing. I have to eat a lot of edibles to make them be effective. You know, I mean, when it's like there's this like, it's like nothing's happening, and whammo, you know what I mean? So it's like I really have to, you know, be willing to get pretty high and, you know, spend the money to, you know, do it. So I rarely do edibles for that reason. Although I have a niece who's going to culinary school. Excuse me, I got something in my eye. And she likes cooking with cannabis, so she's trying all kinds of crazy recipes, and periodically she will bring something by for me to, she'll go, oh, Uncle Bill, try this, and that kind of thing. Anyway, yeah, all right, so Rita's got back. Wow, that's some pretty deep stuff, Rita. Wow, that's really, really crazy. Fantastic. What are your, do you want to go into academia, or do you want to, like, go to, I don't know, like someplace like Scripps and work there, or, you know, like, you know, that type of place? I mean, we have like a bunch of aquariums here on the West Coast, right? Like there's Scripps, and there's the one down in Monterey, and there's the Steinhardt here, the California Academy of Science. I mean, not that you have to come to California, but those types of, you know, are you looking to go to one of those types of institutions, or go out into the wild and do work like that, or, I don't know. I'm fascinated by that stuff. Oh, I thought you guys were fully legal down under. Why did I think that? I know, right, wrong way? I agree with you, Tim. I mean, not to say that everybody should go running around and, you know, getting stoned all the time or anything like that. I'm not interested in glamorizing it. But responsible adults should be able to do more or less what they want with themselves. And it has been shown statistically, medically, everything, that weed is way less damaging on your body than alcohol, you know, and it's way less damaging in behavior. Like, when's the last time you saw a bar fight among potheads? You know, I know that's kind of a common joke, but it's true. I mean, when I used to be a really, really, really heavy drinker, and it was a common thing to see bar fights, and, you know, myself, I mean, I'm not much of a fighting guy, but I was in one of the guys like, hey guys, you know, trying to separate things out a bunch of times, you know. But I never saw that with anybody smoking weed, you know. Be like, man, I'm stoned, I'm going to go sit on the couch, you know. Anyway. All right, man, I think I've missed a bunch of aquarium, missed a bunch of comments. I'm reading one word and saying another. Well, you know, do what you need to do, Rita. I wish the best for you. I wish you every frickin' possible success. That's fantastic. Oh, it's good to know, Alan. You know, I think maybe I'll do another one of those soon. That seemed to be pretty popular with the crowd that prefers my whisper. So I might do that. I might just do one where I just do whisper and I just do various things, kind of like a compilation of the kinds of videos I make, but just do it all whisper only. Because I know I don't do that enough, and I know a lot of you guys like the whisper. It's just that I'm more comfortable with the soft-spoken, and I think statistically, I think my soft-spoken is more popular. From Washington to Georgia. I don't use Steam. I appreciate the offer, but yeah, I don't. When did I start smoking weed? I don't know. I've smoked weed off and on my whole life since I was in my early teens. I've never been a very heavy pothead, though, mostly because I'm a lightweight. No, and there's value in that, right? It's cheap. But I gave up smoking tobacco or using nicotine of any kind a while back, at the beginning of the pandemic, actually. How old am I? I'm 59. I just turned 59 last month. It's been not quite a month ago. That was August 20th. Yeah, and I don't mind. There's no offense in asking me how old I am. I don't really care. I mean, given that, I don't know. I'm looking at myself in that thing there, and and I think about all the ridiculously stupid things I've done with, especially around drinking, smoking, and who knows what else, right? I could be a lot worse. Let's get over here again. Do I watch modern video game gameplays? Not really. I watched, I have watched a couple. The one I watched for a while wasn't so much for the gameplay, but I used to watch ContraPoints a lot when she did her video essays, and then I saw a couple of videos that she did where she was doing some gameplay, and I thought that was kind of entertaining for a minute. But I lose interest pretty quickly on that kind of thing. Sounds like, Tim, you're going to be doing the many miles of traveling in the near future then, yeah? You're going to get one of those, those traveler credit card things, where you get the miles and all that stuff. I mean, if you're going to rack up the miles, you might as well, yeah? Oh, I know who David Attenborough is. I like him a lot. I have a lot of respect for him. I've seen a fair number of things that he's presented. I think he's one of those that's good at making scientific stuff accessible to those of us who aren't necessarily pursuing such a discipline and with any kind of rigor. My mouth's getting dry. Louis Theroux. I don't know how to answer that right now because my brain went blank. I know that name, but I can't think of what it would be that I know him from, so I don't know how to answer the question. I'm being an airhead. Yeah, I wish I could travel more, Tim. Do I have any favorite philosophers. That's an interesting question. I have a strange fascination with Diogenes. I don't know. I think I have similar mindsets in some ways. Maybe that's why he fascinates me. I don't know. I think sometimes I get fascinated by different philosophers at different times. But I don't know that I get into anybody where I go, that's the guy for me. Because ultimately what it comes down to, at least from my perspective, is as clever as they may be or as wise or whatever, and providing insight on things, they are just people that thought things that are wise and gave us insight. I mean, not trying to belittle it, but I think too many people put people on pedestals and then they want to do. I don't know. I think they deify people in a weird way that I don't find appealing. I have read some of Meditations. I've never read it cover to cover. I've kind of just picked it up and kind of skimmed through it. Yeah, behold a man, right? What the fuck, chicken? Oh, if any of you guys are kind of unfamiliar with the Diogenes character that I'm talking about, I'm going to recommend that you go watch the, what is it? It's the Salmonella. What is this thing called? Who knows who I'm talking about? The Salmonella thing. And he does these kind of pseudo, kind of goofy. Well, they're kind of like they're being educational, but they're also ridiculously funny. Salmonella Academy, that's it. Thank you. Right, it's salmonella. Right. But that's the joke, isn't it? Right. But he has one on Diogenes that's hilarious. He has a lot of. I think I like a lot of his stuff. But anyway, so back to the question. I guess I like. A while back, I was pretty fascinated with Schopenhauer for a bit, and there's a bunch of his stuff on audiobook here on YouTube, actually. Epictetus doesn't ring a bell. Wow, I didn't know Bruce Lee was buried in Seattle. Sean O'Malley. Wow. Well, I guess it's cool that his son Brandon's there as well, but I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, I forget how much time he spent here in the U.S. too. You know what I mean? The whole Green Hornet type thing or whatever it was. Okay, what's next? Wood, I guess. Yikes, too much noise from upstairs. Oh, right, he did have schools here, didn't he? See, I forget about. I mean, I remember back in the '70s when I was a kid, he was the king, right? You know what I mean? Everybody worshipped Bruce Lee. He was a guy. You know what I mean? Him and Muhammad Ali. That was, they were the guys. I mean, when it came to that kind of, fighting stuff. But especially all those, Enter the Dragon type, But he's that Ip Man. school of whatever, right? Is where he got his start at or something. But of course, he was super into the whole learn everything, right? Corvids, yeah, I like corvids too. Hey Max, how's it going? Glad you could make it. Wow, cool. See, I didn't really know much about his actual personal life. I just, he was the guy, you know what I mean? He had the fastest hands and. And he made the idea of being, disciplined and in a healthy way kind of okay, you know what I mean? Be like water. Oh yeah, you're right, Nasal Penny. I wish he would put more stuff out, frankly. Hey, Mr. Phipps, welcome. Yeah, the 1-inch punch, right? Man. Plus, there's times you see him like they're filming him and stuff, and it's just like his hands are just so amazingly fast. He's like, exceeding the camera, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're right, Tim. I mean, like I said, I don't know very much about his personal life or anything, but, he was very public about, the whole, being, a deep thinking human, you know what I mean? And then applying that, to your life, I mean, I wasn't joking when I said, I guess I was being lighthearted when I said the be like water thing, but he was serious about that stuff, man. At least, anything I saw where he made reference to any of that kind of stuff, All right, let's use the nails now for a little while. Yeah, I've heard that about the Green Hornet thing, yeah. Yeah, I used to see that in reruns when I was a kid. Because it was, obviously before my time. I wasn't born until 65, but every once in a while that kind of show would get run in syndication and you could see it on one of those crazy, smaller channels that live off of, syndicated shows. Let's use the brush on the end, huh? How about that? Oops, seems like some stuff was moving. Okay, where are we at here? Okay, here we go. Have I watched any? The most recent animated thing that I've watched was One Punch Man. I love One Punch Man. I've seen both series, and I've seen some of the, what do they call those ones that aren't really part of the series? I've seen a couple of those little ones that kind of are in the in-between things. I'd like to find some place that just had everything, you know what I mean, in one place that I could just, you know, push play and just sit down and watch them all. Yeah. Do I play any games while live? Yes, I do. I might even do that some tonight. I do periodically do that. As a matter of fact, I had it in mind that I would play some Sokoban, but I could be persuaded to change that to a different game if people were objectionable to, if they found objection to Sokoban. You know, I haven't really read any books recently. I've got a stack of books over there that I'm intending to read, but I just keep not being able to set aside the time or just have the enthusiasm. So, yeah, sorry about that. Hey, from Uruguay. What do I know about Uruguay? Montevideo is your capital, right? That's about all I know I can think of. Wow, Ryan. Thank you very much. That is super very generous. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Man. What did I think of the debate earlier this week? I thought that Kamala Harris, you know, did what she needed to do. I guess I'll leave it at that. I think everybody's pretty aware of the fact that I am a bit way left of Kamala Harris, so she would be the one I will be voting for this November. And let me see, I think I missed some comments. Let me see if I can catch back up with that. And again, thanks again, Ryan. Let's see. Oh yeah, my nephew has the mangas. I've only read the first couple of them, but yeah, they're really good. I mean, the whole thing about it's really good. At least, you know, yeah, I like it. Thanks, Mr. Phipps. I appreciate that. Thanks, Time. Oh, you live in Montevideo. Cool. You know, when I look at the map, it seems like Montevideo and Buenos Aires are really pretty close to each other. Is that not, am I remembering that properly? I've never been to that area, part of the world, but I would love to go to that part of the world. I'd love to go to just about any part of the world, frankly. Oh, yeah. Since it was mentioned, I think I might switch over to play games here in a minute. Well, let me get back to the comments here, just make sure that Yeah, I think you're right, Nasal Penny. They're eating the dogs. My God. I mean, that whole thing is just so offensive. I don't know how many of you might have seen it, but there was I saw somebody reposted a thing on YouTube that I think John Legend posted on like TikTok or someplace, where he took issue with it because I didn't know, but he was from there. And yeah, I thought he did a pretty good rebuttal to all that nonsense. Okay, well, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this. Come on, go over this way, thank you. And now I'm going to do this, okay. Now we're going to go to here. Okay. go Mussolini. That's funny. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't really want to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that, but I think I've been pretty clear about my perspective on Donald Trump, and you know, if you have any familiarity with me at all, and you're showing up here and being surprised by what I would say, then I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. There you go. All right, so let's see. I'm going to try to find a game here that would be fun to play. So what would I go to? Let's go to the catalog, I guess. And let's just find one that I have played that seems reasonably good or reasonably easy for me to do in a relaxed manner. Have I done the microbonds on a live thing yet? I think these tend to be reasonably easy to do because they're all very small puzzles. You know what I mean? Have I done these for you guys? Am I repeating myself here? I can't ever remember. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just do these, and if it's not what you want to see, then chime in and let me know. Okay. Oh, you know, I think I did do these recently. I think I'm going to jump ahead a bit. Somehow doing this one seems like pretty recently in my mind, so I'm going to go back to here. And let's go up to like about... Wait, have I even played all these? It looks like I might have. Except for those big ones. Okay, no, it looks like there's plenty I haven't played. It looks like there's... Alright, well, what do I want to do here? Let's maybe... I don't know, let's just start here. Can I do this one? Oh, right. I understand what you mean, Rita. Right. Although, man, I really want to see that. I really want to see it in animated form. I tell you what. All right. Okay. Well, clearly these guys are last. That guy's going to go there. Push this guy down. I don't know. It seems easy, but maybe I'm just not looking ahead well enough. Right. Okay, I think... Do I need to move those? You see what I'm getting at? If I move this guy here... See, because here's the thing. All right, I'll just start over. So this one and this one are going to be the last two filled by these ones down here, right? Because this will go boink. You just make that turn there, and then boink, you fill that guy there. So I need to put these three that exist into 1, 2, 3 right there. So that one will go there, and eventually he'll just get pushed there after this guy comes down. This guy will obviously go here and then probably get pushed up. Once that goes up there, this guy will probably go to there, and then this guy will probably go to that spot. But it's getting him down. Maybe I have to make him turn, which would mean, okay, I think I need to do this like that, right? And then I want this one to go like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to continue with this, assuming that I'm probably right. I think, okay, let me see if I'm right in this. So think I'm just going to go like this. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know why I got confused there for a split second. Okay, there's one. Yeah, I'm way off from the 125, aren't I? All right, let's see. Should I catch up with the comments here? Move this out of the way a little bit. All right. Hey, Matt. Well, good evening from California to you in Amsterdam. Hey, Mr. Baba. Don't apologize, man. You're fine. As far as your English goes, I can read it. I can understand it. You're good. Yeah, One Punch Man is it's a bit unique. I mean, it's got all the violence, and to a certain degree, there's I don't know what you might say fan service, although it's not. It's minimal by comparison to most things, but the storyline is just I don't know. I find it very unique and pretty humorously compelling. Essentially, his thing is that he's so overpowered that he can defeat everybody with one punch. But he doesn't like it because he likes the thrill of the challenge of the battle, and he doesn't get it because he just always beats everybody in one punch. Right, Tim. Where do I get my news information? I don't know, various places, mostly online, like Reuters and AP. Sometimes I'll look at Deutsche Welle, sometimes I'll look at the BBC. I'll watch a lot of stuff I hear on YouTube because there's just a lot of it available. And there's a bunch of, and it depends, right? Like, hang on, it goes through my throat. Like there's a bunch of former military guys I like to watch because they'll do commentary on what's going on in Ukraine, and there's some just basic kind of progressive leaning people that just do news/commentary on YouTube that I'll kind of watch a shotgunning of them to kind of collect information and see what makes sense to me. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. So I just kind of collect it from a lot of different places. I mean, there's a few people that are commentators and stuff that I quite find reasonable and interesting to listen to, but what's the one guy I like watching? He was born in the Soviet Union, but he's a citizen of the UK, I think, and lives in England anyway. Vlad Vexler. I watch him quite a bit, although he's not really news, but he does a fair amount of. He's a philosopher, and he makes commentary on news and just current events, that kind of thing. Anyway, okay, hang on. I'm missing comments again here. All right, so there's my news. Non-answer. Wow, Tim, that's deceptive. I purposely chose a collection that I know are fairly simple. I'm not actually all that good at this game. There's a lot of them that I just get too stuck on. Maybe I'll try and remember one, and maybe I'll go show you one. Oh, I see. Okay. I watch David Peckman from time to time. He's an okay guy. He seems like he's reasonably conscientious, and Seems like he genuinely has a kind of a progressive mindset and kind of wants the best for folks and stuff like that. When's the last time I played Codebreaker? This morning. I played Codebreaker every day. I play all of the games every day that you see me play. That's what I do. I get up in the morning, I eat my pills. Sometimes I'll have a little snack of something to put in my gut. I'll have some tea, and then I will play, I'll just go through. I start with Wordle, then I do Quirtle, then I do Octortle, then I do Exortle, then I do Worldle, then I do 2 different of the connection games. Then I do the one-up puzzle, and then I do a crossword puzzle, and then I do a Sudoku, and then I do Codebreaker. And then sometimes I'll play some Sokoban too. And by then I also kind of listen to news and stuff in the morning while I'm doing all of that and check my emails and that kind of crap. And by the time that's all done, it's, been like, an hour-ish maybe. And it's time to, all right, that's enough screwing around, Bill. Time to figure out what you're going to do for the day. I haven't seen Attack on Titan. I've seen there was a fan fiction thing, or not a fan fiction, but a fan animation thing of One Punch Man beating up one of the Titans on a, it's like, what if One Punch Man found himself in Attack on Titan kind of thing. I've seen a few of those. A lot of them kind of go over my head because I don't really, it's fun to watch One Punch Man just smash people because it's amusing, but I know I don't really get kind of some of the details of the thing because I've never watched Attack on Titan, so I don't really understand, what's what. Hello, Straya. Okay, let's go back to do another one of these. Man, my throat keeps getting dry. Okay, so these seem like that'll be pretty... Oh, I see. I was thinking this is going to be pretty basic. You just push them down and push them over, but you see you're going to have to push them down to push them up, but you need to leave these open to be able to push these ones down to here, right? 'Cause you're going to push it down, and then you have to get above it. So I'm going to have to push... So there'll be one here, here, and here. Right? So it seems like otherwise it's pretty straightforward, or is it? I could just collect that one. But am I locking that up if I do that? I can't push that guy there. Oh, wait a minute, this seems like there's a knot already. Let me see what this is like. Oh, I may have to go restart the microbond thing here, or the... I don't know what's going on. I think I have I don't know, there's something wrong with my Firefox here. It keeps kind of screwing up on a couple of different games now and again. Okay, I think maybe I'm okay. See what it's doing? It's doing this weird little flashy thing. Okay, now it's messed up. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Hang on a second. I'm going to do that. I'm going to kill that. I'm going to go back and do this. Go back over to here to do that. Do this. And then now I want to go to... hang on a second, because this is going to be kind of oddly messed up. Okay, so that should be okay now, right? And then now we'll go back to, actually, let's just go here, because we were doing microbond, weren't we? was it? Like about page 16 or some such. Maybe 17. No, you know what, here, I'll do it this way. That'll just be easier. Here we go. Okay. Now let's see if I've lost it. What's okay, where am I at with comments? Doing custom videos on request. Maybe. I don't know. What do you mean? Something that I would do that would you would just say, I make a video on blah blah blah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you could make a request, and I don't know. Here's the thing: I would consider just about anything, but I'm also a curmudgeon, so I might just say, no, sorry. But I don't want to. Well, there's the thing. I guess I don't want to dissuade you from making a suggestion, but I also want to make sure that you have, appropriate expectations, right? Because I am a bit of a curmudgeon. Okay, well, it looks like I'm mostly caught up with the Reclaimer. Rob was here. I don't know if he is still. All right, let me get back to this thing here. Now, what am I doing? Okay. This goes like this, and then I think. I think what I want to do now is this. Ooh, maybe not. No, I've screwed myself, haven't I? I have. All right. So that's not it. So apparently I need to do some pre-work to get this to function the way I want it to go. So maybe if I go like that, no, that's going to lock those up, so that's not it. Interesting. See, we may have found one that has stumped me already. All right. Let me go back here again. What if I do this like this? What does this do? Does that give me any advantage of any sort? I don't know, we'll see. Let me just go push this down here and then I'll come back and look at that. Something about that still bothers me. So let's go see. Right. Now that's going to take me right back to where I was, isn't it? Right. If I do this, wasn't that kind of where I was at before? Maybe not. Okay. All right. I guess I'm all right. I might have been able to get there from before. I just screwed myself over, but all right. I think everything's okay now. Yeah, we're pretty much home free now. And interesting. No, it's fine. I almost was choking myself there for a second, but I'm all right. Yikes. Pay attention, Bill. There we go. How far off am I? Wow, that's not such a great score, but Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Mr. Phipps. All right, let's do another one of these here. How are we doing on time, by the way? All right, we're 43 minutes still. We're all right. Not that I have any big plans or anything like that, but I just like to keep track of what's what. Oh, anyways, Bad Blue, what would you be wanting to request as a custom video? Well, also, if you're talking about custom video, do you mean something that where it would just be a request that whatever? Or are you talking about suddenly dawned on me you might be considering a custom video like something that I would make for somebody to have their own private video? I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I did make a video for somebody. I don't remember their name. I did like a weird contest early on in the early days of the channel, and I did a video for somebody that was kind of a custom thing, but it was for them to put on their own channel as sort of a prize. And I don't remember if I have it on my channel as well, or if I only had. I'm pretty sure it was a woman. That was so long ago. Right now it's 9:15 p.m. So E1 likes the whispering videos best. So here's a tiny little bit of whispering there for you. Howdy, Evan. Okay, what am I going to be doing with this? With this. All right. All right, we need to get in here, so let's think about what the end's going to do, and then I'll work that way. So it seems like that gets put there. So it seems like you do these two first. Probably what? Probably this one first, then that one. Push that to there. Push that there, fix that, push that there. Okay, so that's all pretty clear. What, push this down? How do I get myself room? How's this going to work? Is there enough room there? And oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, man, you got to do a fair amount of rigmarole to get this one, don't you? All right. It'll be easier this time around now. Oh, this is a nice little bit of something there, isn't it? All right. So now you're going to have to go out of the way of that one. Just adding some moves onto your thing, I guess. So here, I'll just do this one now. Just get it the hell out of the way. Probably not the most efficient way of doing it, but I doubt I'm going to have a very good score, so. And that goes over there. And we go over, and we come down, and we go over. Oops. Oh, man. And here we go. And yippee-yi-yay. How far off am I? And not too horrible. What, 54 moves more than the best score? All right, where am I at with? $115. So where is that at then? Is that like Nova Scotia or something? Big? Wow. Well, I hope you had a good game, but I don't, I know bus rides can be a drag. Buses aren't my favorite way to travel, unless, of course, you're like in town and you're just using it to get around in a metropolitan area. But long bus rides I find to be not terribly good. Although, to be truthful, that's because I've only ridden U.S. buses for long distances, right? Like Greyhound and what was it? Trailways or something like that. It was white buses with red. That doesn't sound right. Something like that, though. I don't think they exist anymore. Okay, anyway, Tim, I don't mean... Yes, I'm going to vote for Kamala. All right. The scoring is how many moves you do, right? So you actually get two stats over here. There's moves, that's what they use for the ranking of the scores, but then there's also pushes. So moves are just how many times you move the green guy, and pushes are, how many pushes you push a box. I actually disagree with the layout not the layout, but the interpretation of those stats. I think having fewer pushes, because it's supposed to be based on a warehouseman, right? That's the idea. And it seems to me that if you're actually pushing boxes, especially if you're like using equipment to do it, it would be more cost effective and efficient to not worry about moves as much as actually pushing, because that's when you're going to be exerting force. You know what I mean? But that's just me thinking about when I've worked in a warehouse or two. Let's go on to the... Okay. Oh, I was going to, you just take it around here, but you don't, because you can't get around there. Oh, this is going to be interesting. So I got to push it down, and then come around, and then push it, go up, collect it, push it up, but leaving this open so I can come back. Holy mackerel. Okay, this is going to take some thinking about while I do it here. Okay, so I think I'm going to push this guy down, push that guy over, this guy over, come all the way around, come down into here, collect this guy, poke him up through there. But before I do that, I'm going to have to come around. Right, I'm going to be doing a lot of back and forth on this. All right, let's see if I think I understand what's going on. I think you do this, but then now I do this. And oh, wait a minute. How do I do this now? See, now I'm stuck. Oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Okay, no, I'm not. It's just another layer of back and forth, isn't it? Yikes. Because once I go over around here, yikes, man, this really is going to be... Now, can I go ahead and push this through now? think I can just leave that one there like that, and that way this is open now, period. I think. Right, and then we do this. Pushing him like that, I guess, yeah. Okay. Okay, I think I'm all right. I think maybe. Oops, I need to push this one down here, don't I? Now, don't I? Boink. Yeah, I think this is how this is going to go, right? Then I push this guy, then I push this guy, then I go get this guy for the last time around. Yippee-yay. Well, that wasn't too bad. I'm only... Oh, you know, I think that's because I did that weird backup. You know, I'm going to... Nah, that's not worth redoing. I think I could probably get the 245 now. Anyway, let me see if I got... yeah, thanks. Oh, Brazil, you know, see, there you go. There's my North American-centric view of the world, right? I didn't even think about you being down there. Thanks for, you know, doing a thing that makes me go, duh, and wake my stinking head up. Okay, let's do another one of these. What time is it, by the way? Half hour, okay. Okay, this seems like push that there, that up, that one there. Okay, I think this is going to be another one of those ones, kind of not, a lot of knots involved. Okay, so I think I have to push one up to here on the top, and then I'm just going to have to be moving it back and forth to keep it out of my way, I think. Okay, I think this makes sense. Makes me think of that scene in Eon Flux when they're trying to get into the one facility, and there's those little things shooting the little barbs at them. And she goes, "Do we understand these now?" I love that movie. Oh, you know, I don't know that anything turned me off of Schopenhauer. I just get persnickety and then I lose interest in things. I found his weird sort of, I mean, a lot of people call it like you know, they characterize it as being some kind of pessimism, but I don't know. I don't know that I would characterize it as pessimism, but I don't know. All right, I think now this is just going to be doing some of that basically, right, like that. I think this is just, all right, you do this one like that. Wait a second now, I need to be careful about which order I do these in, don't I? So okay, I think I want to do it like that. And then I'll do, yeah, that's the way I want to do it, okay. I don't know, I had to think about it. It seems like it should be so obvious. I'm just not very good at spatial reasoning at times. And yeah, that's the only way to really get that down, isn't it? And here we go. Yippee-yay. Yeah. Okay. You know, I'm going to go back to doing some sounds for a bit, just because I like doing that, which means I'm going to move this back over here out of my way. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, now I can actually see. Okay. What do we want to do? Let's do some brush. I'll just rotate through them all once more, a few minutes each. Do some brushing on the mics. Brushing on the mic. Brushing on the mic over there, though. Holy mackerel. Oh, wow, Max. Thank you very, very much. That's very generous. I really, really do appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Max. Oh, yeah, so Scotty says, thank you, Scotty. I am doing pretty okay. Do I still have a VHS collection? You know, I probably have a couple of VHS somewhere in some boxes, because I have boxes of crap I've had for decades that I procrastinate having to go through, but I really should, just because I want to get rid of it, you know. I should dig through it, though. There might be something in there of value, I suppose. I remember seeing a thing in a news item. It was a few years ago, I think, that there were, I think it was something that was like Disney or something like that, or maybe it was some other sort of franchise-ish thing, or, basic, studio releases or something. But in particular, I'm pretty sure it was Disney, though, that some of the old ones were suddenly very, very collectible. Of the VHS, I mean, yeah. Oh my goodness, my gut just started making weird noises. I don't know what that's about. Well, I don't know if you were around earlier, Max, but somebody did a previous thank you thing, and I made the wisecrack that I would probably be, putting it towards some joints, and now I'm most certainly, you've basically just covered my monthly joint bill between you guys now, so good for me, yay. Except for now, see, there's a thing, whenever I do these live streams, I always have to go back and do edit them after they're up, and then they get saved as a video to watch on demand, and because they have these things about whether or not it's suitable for ads and all this stuff, and so you have to check whether you use foul language, whether you're talking about sensitive subjects, and are you talking about violence, and this kind of thing. And I mean, I don't do anything terribly seriously provocative or controversial, really, but I do occasionally talk about mental health issues, and I do occasionally talk about the fact, I'm open about the fact that, I used to be a blackout drunk, and I still use weed, you know what I mean? So, but I always mark that, tick the appropriate boxes so that the advertisers will, they'll know what they're getting into. But it doesn't matter which of the boxes I've checked so far. I've never been made unsuitable for ads, at least, not according to the YouTube thing when I check the boxes. Okay, anyway, so that's funny, Tim. That's really good. Well, I guess I will keep doing some the occasional edible, huh, Max? It's a thing that, because I haven't really traveled anywhere recently. So, well, I haven't really been anywhere significant since cannabis has been, legal here. But I've thought that it might be, okay, well, I guess I should back up. So when I was younger, I did do a small amount of traveling. And one of my favorite things to do was on airlines back in the 80s. Um, they would, first of all, if you were doing an international flight, which I only did a few times, but like to the UK, and then in the 90s I went to the Netherlands. But back in the day, once you got out of U.S. airspace, they would give you booze, right? And you could smoke on the planes back then too. So one of my favorite things in the world was to sit at a window seat, looking out at the the fluffy white clouds when they get up over the clouds, and having like a scotch and soda or a gin and tonic, and a cigarette and a drink, and looking out the window, and that was like one of my favorite things in the world. But I don't drink anymore and I don't smoke anymore. But I thought it might be kind of interesting to do a variation on that with like just eat a healthy dosage of edibles and have sort of the I don't know, see how it compares experience-wise. I don't know. Anyway, comments to check up on. Right on. Blacklit star. Oh boy. All right, Diego, but right. What brought me back into that is, well, I never really fully left it. I just became, infrequently active, I guess. I mean, I suppose from your guys' perspective, I was out of it, but from my perspective, I was just slow. What prompted me to get more into it was, well, there were several things, but the first impetus of it was that YouTube changed their policies when it came to monetization of videos. So I was able to monetize my videos for a long time, but I just never did because I never thought of this as being anything other than just something silly to do. But then I started getting more and more, subscribers. Like, I don't know, I was kind of kind of thing. I don't know, kind of on the fence about it. But then YouTube sent this notification out about how they were going to change their policy, because it used to be that if you didn't monetize your videos, then there would be no ads on those videos. But then YouTube changed the thing to saying, even if you don't monetize your videos, we can if we so choose, because it's our platform. And that ticked me off, because I was like, no, you don't get to make money off of my labor if I don't get to make money off of my labor. You know what I mean? There's the left wing in me coming out, So I was like, no. So I entered into the thing with the AdSense account, and, well, there you go. And then, then I just slowly started getting more and more into it. And now I'm actually decided to make a serious go of seeing if I could do YouTube. And I don't know, I think I'll try to, expand out or whatever. I don't know how that will play out exactly, but I know that other YouTubers have put some of their stuff up on other streaming services and stuff like that. And I'm going to eventually, when I can get myself into, what I think of as a reliable workflow that's kind of chugging along smoothly, then I'll start looking into how to expand and, do other things. But, yeah, one thing at a time, right? I mean, I'm really, really, really bad at time management, so. Well, I mean, I suppose you guys could probably deduce, right? I mean, how many times do I forget about the stinking timer and, all that kind of thing, but anyway. Yeah, that's certainly true, Landon. Absolutely true. As a matter of fact, I think there's part of it's to do with, well, not part of it's to do with the way your liver interacts. When you eat it, the liver processing changes the active molecule, and the way it interacts with you so when you smoke it, or, it goes straight into your bloodstream through the lungs as opposed to going through your, GI. So it's a different sort of processing. Well, that's cool. Yeah, Tim, I mean, well, and statistically flying is, pretty safe compared to other things, really. You don't feel so good, Chris? Why not? Oh, man, planes for the free soda, right on. Well, thanks, Max. Is ASMR a drug? I'm going to say no, because when I say drug, I mean something that is a substance that I have to ingest in some manner, or get into the organism, as it were. So I suppose if you were going to do, use needles and you're not really ingesting or smoking or something, right? But anyway, you're taking a foreign substance and introducing it into the organism for some sort of effect. So since ASMR is just an external stimuli, which is different than an actual substance, and it's causing something that's some sort of endogenous thing going on in our brains, right? So, does it a similar effect to a drug? I would say probably so. It wouldn't surprise me if someday they found out that it was actually triggering, endogenous cannabinoids or something like that. So, I don't know. What do I know? Anyway. Question your existence. Why would you be surprised that I replied to you, Chris? I try to, I don't know that I'm perfect at it, but I try to keep up with everybody. And it does get weird for me at times because I'm like trying to keep multiple conversations going at once, you know what I mean? So it's like, I know I drop the ball at times, and if I do that to your conversation, please don't be offended. It's just, my poor little brain just goes, oh man, come on. I can only keep track of so many things. Sorry, man. I tend to kind of do that. The website is broken for Codebreaker? Okay, I have to go investigate that. That should not be the case. I'm not doubting you, but I just have to go see it for myself because I want to see why or how it's broken. So let's go to here. It seems okay here. Or were you just doing that to get me to go? All right. What happened there? Come on. Something weird's going on there. Okay. Huh, interesting. I wonder what it is because, I don't know. I've been having weird issues with my Firefox lately, so. Let's push this one over here. What are we going to get here? So green's out. I'm going to assume that I got the red right just because stats are what stats are. Still no light blue either. Where are we at with the comments there? Oh, interesting. The CSS is messed up. Okay. They've been having issues because I don't know whether you noticed or not, but like the high score thing isn't there anymore and stuff like that. Is the Banzuke there still? Yeah, hey, there's me. I'm number 3. Haha. Anyway, Codebreaker game. Oh man, I lost that game. Crap, I wasn't bad. Anyway, well, what time is it? 14 minutes. I can play a game, one of these, in 14 minutes. All right, let's just do, I'll just do the easy version. We'll just start all red. The easy, the low odds success rate. So red's in. Now let's try orange. And orange is in, but we need to move it. Okay, so here I know that obviously the red can't be correct because if red was the black marble referring to the the black marble was referring to the red, then orange would have no place to go, right? So one of these oranges is correct, and the red has to move around until it finds the right spot. And here we go, introduce the yellow. Okay, both the red and the orange are in the wrong spot. So I'll just move everybody down one, and then we'll bring in the green. one of them's correct. Which one, though? I'm going to say it's one of the greens, so I'm going to say it's this green. This is just an arbitrary guess at this point. Sort of like an if then. If the green is true, then what? We're going to put in the light blue. Did I guess that green right or something else? So I'm going to assume that maybe I did because there's nothing to say that I didn't. So it's, just do that. And now let's introduce the dark blue. And what do you know? Okay, so green, orange. We know the red goes there. Now I have to pick one of these dark blue, which I'll just pick the left one arbitrarily. We'll put in the purple one. And it's not in the right spot, but it's the right color. All right. Yippee-yi-yay. Yippee-yi-yo. And away we go. What do you know? All right, let me see if I can catch up with the comments now. I didn't do anything. I just logged into the site. Maybe it's, I don't know. I'm using Firefox on Pop! OS. So I don't know. I mean, I would imagine that this site doesn't look like it's terribly complicated. I would imagine that it's just mostly, well, some CSS, obviously, some basic JavaScript, I would assume. Oh, I suppose that might be the deal, right? Because it's not, right? Because if you'll notice here, it's not, that means it's not on the secured thing. Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, thanks for the watching, Diego. Any plans for Halloween? Not as of yet. I haven't done anything for Halloween in a long time. Probably, I haven't done anything for Halloween since I got divorced, and that was when? That was in 94? Is that when my divorce? I think it got finalized in 94. That seems about right. Yeah, so I mean, but no, I don't really have any plans. And the thing is, the past few years here, we haven't even had kids come in to, come up to the door to go trick or treat. My sister typically buys, a couple of bags of candies just in case, but then we end up just having candy around the house for a few days because, no kids came. So, well, the good news is we have a bunch of people living here. So, what is it? There's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of us live here. Although for me it's pretty easy to deal with because I live downstairs in sort of the converted garage/basement. So, okay. Anyway, where are we at with that? I'm going to sleep. Well, hopefully it's a good sleep, Chris. Yeah, they've had the Halloween stuff up at the Safeway I go to for a little while now. It's crazy. Yeah, maybe I should try to, let's see, it's only the middle of September now, so maybe I should try to think of some stuff to do for Halloween. I don't know. If anybody has any good suggestions, I will be open to them, but just bear in mind I am a curmudgeon and I may not do it. Well, thanks, Diego. I mean, for the recognition, at least, of it, yeah. But, okay, so I do another one of these. What time is it? We have 8 minutes left. You know what? No, I'm not going to play another one of these. I'm going to go back to the normal scene here. Put things kind of back to that. So we'll start winding down, I guess. So we'll start doing, I guess I'll use, what do I want to do for the winding down tonight? I'll do the wood. I'll be tapping on wood. So we need to figure out when the next stream is going to be. A wizard theme video, okay. I'll think about that. That's not a bad idea. Do I hang out with any people anymore? You know, truthfully, most of the people I hang out with are online. It's kind of odd that it sort of ended up that way. Part of it is that after I gave up drinking, because for a long time, I mean, I drank very heavily for so many years, and everybody that I hung out with because we drank, you know what I mean? And then when I gave up drinking, it's sort of like, oops, where did everybody go? And part of it was me. It was, you know, a little bit of both. People not wanting to hang out with me and me not wanting to hang out with people because, you know, bars, because of how that worked out. But over the years, most of the people I've kind of made good friendships with are kind of remote from me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess it's online most of the time. I mean, I still have a lot of friends down in San Diego too that I've kind of maintained some kind of contact with, but yeah, it's, you know, tenuous, I guess, in a way. Yeah, I might do that. I did the Raven many, many years ago. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about that. Maybe I should try to come up with a few things and do like a few themed videos like that. Thought about doing another. Yeah, I've thought about doing other collabs. I don't know. I won't say that they won't happen. I don't know. I'm not necessarily I'm not the most socially skilled human. Well, I'm sorry you got here so late, or Silas, excuse me. My brain misread that. But at least you're here for a little bit of it anyway. Well, and you could be here for input for the next one. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean, when it comes to the drinking thing, I mean, I'm not going to nag anybody else unless they do something silly, but it's not my business to, you know, police people. But at the same time, if somebody's got an issue, you know, I think it's good to offer them support and maybe a way out. But yeah, it can absolutely be way over the top, can't it? Halloween history and facts. That might be an interesting thing. I'll have to look into that. Or scary stories. You know, I might look up on Project Gutenberg, like some old ghost stories and weird folk stories. That might be an interesting thing to do, because then I could kind of combine them, right? Talk a little bit about the historic, you know, the context of those old stories, and then, you know what I mean? There you go. See, I think that's developing into an idea right there. Some kind of overlap between history and old stories, and then talk about the old stories and the history of the old stories, but then actually read the old stories. I think that might be a really good idea. Wow, 23. You're a youngster. I'm 59. Well, there will be more Codebreaker. Probably, I already have one gameplay recorded that's going to come out this month. That's octoral. I think I will be doing Codebreaker after that. So for next month's gameplay will be Codebreaker. At least one of them will be anyway. Because like this time I did Enigma already. A bunch of Halloween candy. Is there a Sokoban in Enigma? I've only played the Enigma that you've seen so far. I think I might have played like 1 or 2 levels past, you know, what you guys have seen already. Because I kind of play ahead to make sure I know what the hell I'm doing. Because I think it makes for a better ASMR experience if, you know, if I don't spend too much time going, duh, you know what I mean? Soko Ball. I'll have to look for it. Okay, we need to start talking about the next live stream, because it's the buzzer's gonna go off here in a second, or in a minute and a half anyway. And don't worry, I'm not gonna go running off at the, you know, at the chime of the bell, so to speak. Okay, so let me look at the calendar here real quick. So this time it's going to be on the 28th. Okay, where did I do with my, oh, you know, I'll have to do it here. Let me do this. Here, how do I want to do this? I'll just do it this way. Let's go to here. Come on, where are you at? What's going on here? Stuff is froze up. Why are things frozen up? Okay. Is everything still working? My computer just did weird things to me. I wonder what's going on. All right, anyway, I must have clicked on something inappropriate. Will this work now appropriately, please? There we go, thank you. So I want to say September, what did I say? The 28th? Yeah, the 28th. Oops, 28 at, now we need to pick a time. Yep, I realize that. It's been done. Boink, 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 boink. There we go. And this can just sit there. I'll just move it over here. I don't need it. Put this one over here for a second. I can put that there like that. Moving all these sticky windows around. Okay. All right. Anyway, so let's see. Well, have fun in Amsterdam. I hope you get to have a little bit of fun and not just do all business. Yeah, well, you know, I haven't really tried all that hard to get things going all that well, Diego. You know, until recently, anyway. Oops. Stop that. That's there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Tim's voting for 8 p.m. All right, does anybody have another time that they'd like to throw out there? Otherwise, I'll just do this. It'll be the same as this time. It'll be another one at 8 p.m. on the 28th. It would be my time zone, 8 p.m. Pacific daylight savings time, which is what, UTC minus 7. Okay. All right, Max, thank you. Right, yeah, because Central is 2 hours, right. Well, they might, Diego. We can cross our fingers and hope that eventually I can, grow a bigger audience. We'll see. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, Matt. Okay, James is voting for the same time again. Oh, there you go. Maybe you could get Wi-Fi on the plane, right? Yeah, I haven't quite crossed the 30,000 mark though yet, have I? See, here's the thing. I don't really do that big push, though, do I? Maybe I should start doing that. Like, please subscribe. I'm almost 30,000. That kind of thing. People do that. I guess it seems to work. I guess I'm just not very good at playing the, grow the channel game. I need to improve how I do that, I suppose. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Tim. So there's the thing. I'm trying to find a balance where I need to have a certain amount of financial whatever, just because, I live in a world where money's necessary. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, the video that got the most views on it was my material, but it was on John Egan's channel. What does he call it? Pure ASMR or something like that. He made a compilation of my stuff and put it on his channels. He does that to kind of, unfortunately, he can't monetize that stuff because YouTube won't let him because it's other people's work. Yeah, it's kind of too bad for him, but I wouldn't mind if he was able to monetize it. He would get money out of it more than I would, but I got a lot of exposure from that, frankly. So I got a lot of new people to watch it. Yeah, and I still interact with that guy that runs that channel. I give him footage, and then he offers to help me out with how to Actually, he doesn't help me so much as he just kind of does it. I guess he changes, whatever the tags are and, how the stuff should be and all that kind of thing. But wow, Matt, thank you very much. That's very, very cool. Yet another kind person has been generous, and I do appreciate it a lot. I don't know that I'm very good at conveying my gratitude, but I do appreciate it. Yippee-yi-yay, thank you. Yeah, Matt for the win, right? Right on. Yippee-yi-yay. Okay, yeah, you're not the only person that's made that suggestion, Silas. And it's just, basically it's me and not being good at following through on certain things. I just need to get doing that. So I'll have to put that on my list of things to do in the next week or so. But it's, anyway, there's just so many other things I prefer to be doing with my time. And, largely to do with what, I'm going to be doing, improving the channel and, also trying to get my music channel up and going and that kind of thing. Yeah, I guess that's that. Okay, you know what, gang? I think I'm going to wind it up. I'll just wait a couple of more minutes if there's any last-minute questions that anybody wants to run by me real quickly. Otherwise, it's going to be the end of this stream. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, I guess the consensus is 8, right? I guess we haven't followed that up, right? So the next one, for those of you who are making note, is going to be September 28th. It's a Saturday at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, or UTC -7, depending on how you want to work that out. So that's what it's going to be. I will schedule that. Okay, so what is that? Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. That's very kind and generous. And it is a kind and noble thing when people who have can share. That's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Bianca. Fair enough, Silas. Yeah, it will eventually all come together. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm just slow is all. You know what I mean? So, it will get there. It will get there. And, and we'll have a fun time kind of, I can only imagine if we get like a lot of people on this stream, how many conversations am I going to have to try to keep track of? I mean, if it gets that big, then I'm going to have to start recruiting, moderators or something. But, okay, gang, you know what? I'm going to call that done for, oh, wait a minute, what do we have here? Oh, okay, you're sending that off to Matt. Okay. Okay, gang, that's it for tonight. I hope everybody had a good time. I had a really good time, and I appreciate everybody's generosity who chipped in the money for, well, who knows, probably some weed, but also I'm going to get new lights to go with the green screen, so I'll get better, more consistent results and all of that. So, more good things to look forward to, I suppose, as time goes on. But anyway, again, I had a great time. I hope you guys did too. Aloha, siblings.